André Mallet, good morning. You are chairman of Viameca, a competitiveness cluster. Could you present the cluster to us?
Yes, good morning. The Viameca Competitiveness Cluster received its seal of approval in 2005, like all the 65 competitive clusters in France. Our specialty is mechanical engineering, and we are active over an area covering the Massif Central and Rhône-Alpes, a relatively wide area that represents 9,000 mechanical engineering companies and approximately 400,000 jobs. Of course, not all these 9,000 companies are yet members of Viameca. Today we have 150, 160 member companies. New ones arrive every day because it takes time to launch all these of the basis of innovation objectives. Our ambition is to promote innovation in three major fields: aeronautics, automotive, and capital goods for industry, which are the fields that are the most representative of our geographical area. The important part of all this is to get companies, often small ones, to work together, to get them to work together and to get them to work with both public and private research centers and training centers. So we want to set up what are called clusters, a concept already tried and tested elsewhere in the world, to be able to generate innovation which will be of use of the market. Today we know that in the world we live in, it is a company which is first to innovate that takes the first place in controls markets. So the dynamic notion is to boost innovation through networks, cooperation networks, innovation, research centers, training centers, industry.
How can a company that wants to join Viameca make contact with you, and what help can you give it?
We have a website, viameca.fr, where everybody can find us on the internet. On viameca.fr, there is a public section and a private section. The public section is open to all. You need to be a member of Viameca to have access to the private section. You have all the information you require in the public section. If you wish to become a member, you just have to fill in the form online and make direct contact with the Viameca office.
How many projects do you have ongoing today, and how do you accompany these projects?
Today the Viameca portfolio contains 62 cooperation projects. Each project represents an objective in terms of innovation, a budget allocated to the project, and then a schedule for arriving on the market. And of course we have several companies and one or more research and training centers working on each cooperation project. Out of these 62 projects, 15 or so have already reached a successful conclusion. There are between 20 and 25 which, if I may use the term, are maturing before being presented for fundraising by state funding bodies. State funds include the company Competitiveness Fund or Fonds Unique Interministériel. There is also the National Research Agency, the Agence Nationale de la Recherche. Once the projects are ready, it is up to us to develop them and make them correspond to selection criteria. We present them, and once they have been accepted, we will bring between 20 or 30% of the project budget cost. So that the help we can give at company and research center levels. We do, of course, have permanent staff. Today, 3 delegates called federators who work on initiating new projects, on detecting requirements of skills in companies or research centers, and getting people around the table to initiate new projects, operating a network that will enable innovative projects to see the light of day. When the projects have been sufficiently developed, we start again, we let them mature, and then propose them to the different state financing institutions.
So you provide information. There is feedback between the different projects. Do you create synergies?
We create synergies whilst maintaining projects, confidential nature, and at the same time, whenever there is an economic intelligence factor. Moreover, we have several commissions within Viameca, and whenever we ask someone who has decided to become a member of Viameca for participation, we only request that they pay small sums, 500 € for companies of less than 100 people, or 1,000 € for over 100 people. However, we ask them, above all, to work in a commission, a research and industry commission, in which there are 3 sub-commissions: aeronautics, capital goods of industry, or an economic intelligence or training commission. These are all commissions where exchanges are created between the different partners. This is in the first way of making people work, and then our federator visit all the small and medium-sized companies and research centers to promote new projects and ideas.
Once the project has received aid in terms of innovation, do you continue accompanying the company, especially on international levels?
For international development, we rely on existing structure. We do not recreate anything that already exists. We are not there to create structures. We are there to form links, and above all to meet real requirements. When a company needs to go on to international markets, we have a certain number of partners or people we know. We put them into contact with each other and ask our contact to go and work with them. That's all.
Do you work with very small companies?
Very small companies have difficulty in participating in cooperative projects worth between 500,000 € and 1 million € or 2 million € for very small companies. We have developed operation with OSEO, which is a body in every region. There is a state body called OSEO, which exists to promote innovation. We issue requests to compete, requests to tender for innovative project bids, and the requests are made by announcement in the press. Whenever very small companies reply to a bid, we send a federator to look at their project. If the project is selected by Viameca, we make resources available for the project to be matured, and if it is retained by OSEO, if it is financed by them at 50% of this value. So, in fact, we do a lot of business with very small companies.
André Mallet, thank you very much.